Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mace. I'm from North America, the good part. I'm in Canada, British Columbia, the West Coast, baby. It's beautiful, beautiful here. And here we go, another installment of What's the Dumbest Thing an American Has Ever Said to You? Let's get to it. So, these things do beggar belief. They shock you. They make you wonder how, like, are these real people? Because they just say things that are so stupid. Kind of like the American president. All right, let's get to the video. And just to preface all that, this video is in good fun. Obviously, there's stupid people in every single country around the world that could say equally stupid things. Maybe just the States has more per capita than average, maybe. I don't know. Let's go.
Curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I'm gonna do this video in English because it's so hilarious and I just want people to know. Because ironically, not many Americans know this. So I went to high school in Florida. When I first got there, I'm Latina, Hispanic. I don't remember if I was in a classroom or at lunch. I think it was before the class started in a classroom. And to some people, even though my English can be okay, gringos can tell I'm a foreigner. Oops. So this white girl that was in front of me, she heard me talking to somebody and she asked where I was from. So I said, oh, I'm from Puerto Rico. And then she went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Why? It must have been so harsh for you to get here as an immigrant. Not the colonizer not knowing they colonized me. No, I'm a US citizen since 1917 because Puerto Rico was invaded by the US in 1898, but Puerto Rico is not in America. Diablo, que tipa más bestia, holy shit.
Oh,
when I was last in America, this guy was like, hey man, where's your accent from? And I was like, oh, I'm British. And then he was like, British? It sounds more like Scottish or something. First of all,
there's so many different accents within the United Kingdom, like it's crazy, right? So many different nuanced accents. So that's crazy.
Accent is very clearly English. It's not Scottish. Second, Scotland is in Great Britain, so a Scottish accent is a British accent anyway. So
Scottish accents are very distinct, though. I love Scottish accents. They're super cool. I don't think I could do one. No, I'm not going to try to do one. I really don't like trying to do accents. It's just, yeah, really, it's not a good look.
I'm American, obviously, but I got a story for you. This one time, I was at an audition in Nashville, and I was sitting next to this pretty blonde girl. I asked her where she was from, and she said, I'm from Alabama. How about you? Nice. I'm from Oklahoma. Huh? I'm from Oklahoma? What is that?
She doesn't even know the American states. That's pretty regular.
Excuse me? What is that? What is it? It's a state. Like in the United States? Yes. In the United States of America? I've never heard of that. You've never heard of Oklahoma? No, where is that? It's like right in the middle of the country. Like right above Texas, you know?
That's where Tulsa is, right? Tulsa, Oklahoma. So the girl from Alabama doesn't know her states.
Oh.
Bama.
So it's next to California? That is 100% a true story.
Canadian here.
Next to California.
Right after I moved to America, I went to the Social Security office so that I could apply for a Social Security number so that I could work in America. I went up to the little kiosk and I punched in that I was applying for my very first Social Security number. And the man who was working there said, excuse me, ma'am, you're going to want to punch in that you're applying for a replacement card, not a new number. And I said, no, sir, I don't have a Social Security number. I am applying for the first time. And he said, and you're an American?
Canadian.
And I said, no, sir, I actually just moved here from Canada just a couple of weeks ago. And he said this.
Oh, no.
Ma'am, I have to say, your English is amazing.
Like, no, nobody would say that. It's not, please. What?
Yeah.
No.
After learning my name, people like to ask me where I'm from. And I tell them, I'm from Czech Republic. And then they ask what I speak. And so I tell them, I speak Czech. And then they ask me,
Uh-oh.
oh, so you speak Russian? So are you Russian? Czechoslovakia, that's a part of Russia. So you're Russian. So you grew up in the USSR. You're Russian. Do you speak Russian? Do you speak Russian? Do you speak Russian? Do you speak Russian?
No.
Говоришь по-русски. Oh yeah, that's right. You must be Russian. No, I'm not.
I'm Czech.
Wrong country, wrong language, and the wrong country.
So I'm gonna just preface
Insanity.
this and say I'm from Canada, right? And the one time I ever went to Los Angeles, California, I was somewhere around Santa Monica Beach with my family, and I went to a skate shop, and I bought myself a skate deck. And when I told the dude who was working there, who sold me the
That I'm
deck,
from Canada?
when I told him I was Canadian, his response, like his mouth dropped, and he was like, "You can skateboard in snow?"
No.
And I laughed and said, "What do you mean?"
bro.
And he's like, "Well, it's a frozen wasteland there, isn't it?" And it's like, "No, it's sunny, and like there's only snow for 85% of the year. The other 15%, you can skateboard like nothing, right?" And he's like, "Oh, well, if it isn't."
Is he joking about the 85% of the year thing with snow? Depends where you live. Like where I live, we got one snow day this year. One. The weather is incredibly temperate, and since mid-April it's been beautiful, like sunny. So we do not. I mean, if you live in northern Alberta, northern Saskatchewan, northern Manitoba, or even hell, middle of Manitoba, like even southern Manitoba, like it's a lot colder. But out on the west coast here, like damn, we got it pretty good. It gets rainy in the winter. It's very rainy, so it's similar to Seattle. For if there's any Americans watching, Vancouver's often kind of referred to as like a sister city of Seattle, and they're quite similar with their raininess, and you'll see them being used interchangeably for like filming locations, and yeah, very very similar, quite similar cities, I would say.
Snowy all the time, how do you live in igloos?
I'd live in an igloo.
I'm not lying at all.
It's crazy, dude.
So I'm from Germany, but I've lived in Switzerland for my entire life until 2015 when my family moved to the US, and I spent 2 years living there, so I've heard a lot of dumb shit, but here's the worst of it. So one time I was with a group of people.
So I will make a comment that like people are allowed to be ignorant. Like everybody's ignorant of certain things, and sometimes you're going to ask stupid questions, but it's whether or not you have the humility needed to learn and also take accountability for your ignorance. So
People, and I was on the phone with my friend in Germany, and when we hung up I said good night, sleep well, and this guy is like, so he goes, why is she going to bed? It's like 3 p.m. And so I had to explain that because she's in Germany, she's
is what, 9 hours ahead of
6 hours ahead because
6
of time
hours.
zones.
Yeah,
And
9 hours ahead of where I'm at. Probably 6 hours. Yeah, on the east.
he looks really confused, like, and then he asked me if Germany is 6 hours ahead. Why did nobody ever warn
We've
them
seen this one before,
about
but
9/11 happening? This guy literally thought that time zones meant that you could time travel.
maybe he's just trying to be funny.
Once I was sitting in a bar in Atlanta, and this man kept calling me an Arab. And, like, I didn't know what an Arab was.
So he's
because Americans
racist?
can't pronounce shit, man. And so, like, I was just staring at him, like, what is this dude saying? And I was like, I don't understand your accent.
She sounds
And my
British.
American friend said to me, he's calling you an Arab. And I was like, oh. And I turned around and I went, dude, no, I'm Pakistani. This one isn't about me being brown. This one is about me being English. So I was out with my friends at this, like, pizza place, I think, and some dude came over, and he was a friend of my friend, and he was like, do you guys have pizza in the UK? Like, seriously, do we have pizza? Like, not even sarcastic. And I was like, oh, you know, they banned pizza in the 80s because the Queen choked on some pizza. And so now you can only buy pizza on the black market. And it's really hard because like you don't know the kind of quality
the
they
black
put
market
in the cheese.
pizza.
Sometimes it's like rat milk and the vegetables are like, they come from like the trash. And he was like, shit, man, England is rough. Yeah, we don't even have pizza.
So some basic biatch in Costco looked at me and said, go back to your own country. I was with my mom who wears a headscarf. And I was like, honey, I have no accent. And I know there are 50 states in this greater America. Do you know that? Do you know that? Have you written 2 novels, honey? Can you spell tsunami? T-S-U-N-A-M-I. Tsunami, bitch. I mean, give me a break. When you look at foreigners and immigrants in this country and say, go back to your own country, honey.
It basically boils down to just look, mind your own business, man. Yeah, people will need to mind their own business. And also, like, sometimes the older generations, they can be very incredibly ignorant and also intolerant, which can be frustrating. And look, there's young people who can be intolerant too. But, yeah, like, chill. If you somebody's wearing a headscarf, who gives a crap? Somebody's not wearing a headscarf, who gives a crap? Like, as long as people are minding their own business, doing their own thing, we need to start just, leaving people alone. Who cares, man? There's a lot of bigotry in this world. We don't need more of it. We need to start calling it out.
Honey, we speak better English than you do, and we have more degrees, counted degrees, than you can ever get. You basic American from Idaho. Eat your potatoes and shut your mouth.
I'd like to buy
he was kind of annoying to be
a 6-pack of beer, please. Cool, I just need to see your ID. Here you go. I can't take that. You can't take my passport? It's not a valid form of ID.
What?
You gotta have American ID to buy.
It's the most validist of all time piece of ID.
Alcohol in America. It's an American passport. It says my birthplace is Tennessee. You gotta get an American.
Hey, Tennessee, shout out Hoodie Evers. Just released a new single with him. You can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you stream music. Search Macy, but the E is a 3, so MAC3Y.
Passport to come to America. Everybody knows that. You know that.
Hoodie Evers is
one.
from Tennessee.
That's not true at all. If you're such an American, why can't you just give me your driver's license? Because my wallet got stolen. And even if I did have that, you can take a passport. Let me go ask my manager if she'll make an exception. Hi, what seems to be the problem here? Your cashier won't let me use my passport as identification to buy beer. Yeah, you gotta have an American ID to buy alcohol in America. But that's really cool, though. I've never seen a passport before. Where are you from? Here!
Do you have Christmas in Ireland? Yes, we do. Do you have Thanksgiving in Ireland? No, we don't. Do you have Halloween in Ireland? We invented the fucking thing.
I have made a video before about the dumb shit America.
In fact, like most things in the States, like those holidays and things, they didn't come from America or North America. They came from like Europe or the United Kingdom
originally, since moving here, and
or Asia.
Almost every single day, especially when I would work at the movie theater, I would get people coming up to me, just staring and being like, "I didn't know there were black people from England." Like, okay, keep that shit to yourself. That's embarrassing.
Man.
So let's set the scene. It's early July and I'm in Marrakesh. I've just checked into this hostel and I'm sitting on one of these chairs here by the pool. So this young couple from Georgia sparks up a conversation with me.
Another Brit.
So the couple invite me up to like the roof, this like roof patio thing, to see the fireworks. So we end up on the roof terrace here, mingling with various nationalities. And the Americans are asking, like, does anyone know when the fireworks start? Everyone's a bit confused. Anyway, it transpires that it is the 4th of July, American Independence Day. We're in Morocco. There's maybe like 10 of us all trying to explain to this American
I just can't believe this.
Why they probably don't have fireworks for the 4th of July in Marrakesh, Morocco. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Stay tuned for more.
It's unbelievable almost, isn't it? Unbelievable almost. Good stuff. All right, we'll see you guys on the next one. Leave a comment down below. Peace out.